Welcome to the TLBL show. I'm your host, Ben Zieper, joined by Mayron Baptista,
Hello.
our resident camera guy, cinematographer,
Hello.
director, producer, actor, husband, father, lover, king, queen.
Two of those things.
Which two?
Husband and lover.
I'm joined by
kidding,
Mayron.
not husband or lover.
Mayron is our camera guy, which is selling you a little short. But
I'll go with it. Camera guy's fine.
you wear many hats, including this one right now, which will be dropping very soon. You want to turn it around so the fans can
Hell
see?
yeah.
This is part of a new apparel drop, so be on the lookout for it. I'm also wearing a hat today. This is some of our Worlds getup. This is the Worlds jacket. He's wearing a Worlds jersey. There's a Worlds hat. We were both wearing Core JJs today. Core is just the coolest guy we've ever met in our entire lives. So
I've never met a cooler guy than Core JJ.
that's a fact. And he's met
like,
John Stamos.
Mm-hmm.
Have you actually?
Yeah.
That's so good. Well, Mayron, cheers first off.
Hey.
To BudLight. Thank you, BudLight.
Thank you, BudLight, for sending your BudLight all the way to Utrecht, Netherlands.
Which kind of starts us off. If you can tell, this is not our usual setup.
Delicious.
This is a setup that Mayron put together with the help of some of our production people in Utrecht.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me
quickly.
shout them out. Bart, Dom, Vilmer, Reese. If I'm forgetting someone, I'm sorry.
Rich, did Rich help out at all?
Rich absolutely helped out.
So shout out to all you guys for helping out. We really appreciate it. So we are in Europe right now. We are prepping for Worlds, which is why we are not at our usual setup. We are in the Team Liquid Alienware training
which
facility.
is why I'm here, and we don't have another person.
That's why we have one camera angle, so we're just gonna be staring you down the entire time. I don't know. This is weird because usually we have three cameras, and we can like look back and forth or whatever, and usually we can see how we look. Like I don't know if I have a do I have a booger? Do I have anything in my teeth? I hope I don't. It's been an exciting journey so far getting here. You've been here since Summer Split, kind of like myself.
Correct.
You started when I started.
Yes.
Where did you come from, Mayron?
Like in life?
In life, yeah.
Or like career-wise?
Porque no los dos, you know what I mean?
Oh boy, how do I start this? That's a long conversation. We can go the whole hour here.
You know what? Let's cut to the Alienware training facility then. Let's start with being here. We've been here for about...
I don't know if anyone's met Joey Thimian, but I come from this place called The Attack. We used to do a little spin-off of The Attack at a show called The Attack, and me and Joey worked very closely on that, and it ended up getting on Disney. Small flex. But from there I ended up getting a call from Joey one day. He's like, hey, would you be interested in joining Liquid? And I was like, yeah, and here I am.
And you're a guy with a traditional sports background, so what has it been like documenting the lifestyle and the world in which we play? Because you mentioned 30 on 30 a lot when we talk, and I don't think you have a big background in League of Legends as well. So
no, I had no idea what League of Legends. I mean, I knew what League of Legends was, but as far as the game itself, how to play it, like how the tournaments happen, how all that stuff, I no idea. They just asked me to just like, can you produce this? I was like, yeah.
That's a little crazy because there's literally a million people that would die to be in your position right now. I mean, we're in Europe.
I mean, listen, if they want to like wrestle me for it, we can do it.
Were you ever a wrestler, or you just want to wrestle someone?
I'm just down to wrestle people.
Mayron is really special. I've had the pleasure of working with him for the past few months because he has a great rapport with the team, which is what you really want in a producer and a cameraman and a cinematographer. I would love if we could start and you could break down your relationship with each of the players. And I think it'd be fun if we started with Core because we are wearing Core jerseys right now. So Mayron, as someone who had no idea who Core JJ was before walking into the building, what do you think of Core JJ?
Listen, Core is just the coolest guy. He's my favorite League of Legends player, as well as Santorin. Jensen. Alfari, and Tactical.
What has it been like working with Core?
Fantastic. He's just always down for the cause. No problems with him whatsoever. Actually, no problems with any of the players.
I was say, when you say no problems with him, it kind of sounds like you're implying there are problems with other players. Dodo.
No, I love Dodo. Sometimes.
I think what's special about Core is he's the funniest guy on the team, hands down.
Honestly, he's like those people that just have a straight face for the most. Like he's just straight face, and all of a sudden he just like drops the funniest lines ever. I'm like, damn, that was pretty fucking good. Are we allowed to say that? Fucking and shit
and damn, yeah, you could say those words. It's BudLight. Where this is a PG-13 to R rated.
Hey,
cheers to BudLight.
Hey,
once
dude,
again,
that's a really nice BudLight you got going there.
Thank you. Core this morning pulled me aside.
Yeah.
And he shows me that the T1 now, a Korean team. packed like 3 suitcases full of like ramen and kimchi and stuff like that. And he's like,
rum and kimchi?
Ramen.
Oh, I was like, rum and kimchi. I was like, is that just like what they do? It's like, what?
Well, I think Korea is like one of the biggest alcohol capitals of the world too. But that's
Is
totally
that a fact?
separate. Yeah, I actually think so.
No, let's get into it. Break it down for me, please.
We should Google it. Someone should Google it. Comment if it's true or not. I may be lying. But Core looks at me. He's like, see what their managers do. And he just gives me this dead look.
How does that make you feel?
I got him kimchi and stuff. I went out today and I got him a bunch of stuff with Dodo. So
is that right? Did you guys go down to the market right there?
Yeah, we went down to the market. We're right next to the Central Utrecht Mall. I don't know if that's what it's called, but
I don't think it is.
We can't
Central
read any of the
Utrecht
signs
Station.
here. We
Yeah.
cannot read a single sign.
It's been hard.
It's frustrating.
Dutch is not easy.
Honestly, it just made me understand some of the struggles that people have when they don't speak English now. 100%.
Do you appreciate it a little bit?
I appreciate it a little bit more. I miss English.
As an American, how do you feel now?
I miss it, dude. I read these, like, today Alfari asked me to get him some supplements, and I'm looking and I'm like, dude, what the hell am I reading? Like, I don't know what I'm looking for.
They usually have a little like subtitle in English right next to it.
I've not seen anything like that. I mean, in certain signs I have, but we're getting off topic.
Okay.
Tactical, Tactical, I don't know if you know this, but last year was his first year. He came in as a rookie last year, replacing Doublelift, who was probably considered the greatest player in his position in North America at the time.
Well, then Tactical came along.
And now he's the greatest and second greatest because he's so freaking good.
It's insane, honestly.
What has it been like working with Tactical, working with Edward?
Eddie has to be probably the most energetic one out of all the players. Mm-hmm. He's always, every time I've asked him to answer a question, he'll be like, I'm sorry, what was that? I was like, oh, Eddie, no, it goes like this. And he's like, come again? What was that? So just very easy to work with all around.
Eddie. Okay, now let's get to Jenny. You have a nickname for Jenny, or Jensen. Sorry, I cut to the chase.
Well, you just broke it. It was Jenny.
But why you call him Jenny?
Because Jennifer Lopez, Jenny from the Block.
And I still don't know if he understands that reference at all.
I'm still Jenny from the Block. Had a little, had a lot.
What's it been like working with Jensen? Because this is a guy who has been in North America for a long time. You and I were hanging out with him a few nights ago, and he shared some stories from his life. And I feel like I didn't know a lot of those stories, but especially for you, for someone that
I had no idea,
didn't know
honestly.
him when he was in Carnation or when he was a WoW player. What's it like working with Jensen?
I think it's really interesting to kind of like dissect these players little by little and find out like a little bit more about them instead of them just being esports players. Because I'm not really sure. I think this is. I'm not sure if it's an ignorant look at it or like. But you look at these like esports players and you're just like, oh, these guys just play games all day. Like they don't really have a life. And then to like finally figure out a little bit about them, like start learning the past and how they came to be. It's actually really interesting. They're all super interesting. Jensen specifically that we were talking about him. It's been a lot to learn about him, and he's a really funny guy.
How much about his life did you know before we got on this trip?
From 0 to 10?
Yeah,
0.
And then also we were sitting next to him on the plane. Real quick, a quick story that I don't think people know is that we, Mayron and I are lowly staff, so we sat in the regular seats on the plane. And Alfari gave up his business class seat to come and sit with us, which was, really
actually
cool.
Really nice. Yeah. I'm not sure why he did
that. He's a tall motherfucker. Like that guy should have been in business class.
Yeah, I have no idea why he did that. It was a 10-hour flight.
Yeah, it was like an 11-hour flight.
Yeah, it felt long.
But then Jensen would come back too, and
sit there and
he would just play Switch with us and talk with us, and he has just lived a life. And I know we said that already, but that dude is. And you met his family. We met his family. This past
Yeah,
week.
we met his dad, his brother that
Stein?
left, and his brother
Christian.
was right. He never gave me an interview. I just realized that right now as I'm sitting here that I never got an interview with his brother.
We tried to get one, but he was stubborn.
That son of a bitch.
If you look up Naxy, Naxyy, Naxy is Jensen's brother. He's a challenger or grandmaster player on the EUS solo queue ladder. He plays for a Danish league. And it was super cool to have him in the office this past week.
It was super cool. You know what would be cooler?
If you got an interview with him?
He gave me an interview.
Well, I get an interview with him when you can just hear us talk about him and say that he was a cool guy.
Yeah.
He sat right there, although you can't see where I'm pointing because you're at home on youtube.com/Team Liquid LCS. Is that the name of the YouTube channel, Cheery? We got the OK from Cheery. That is the name of the YouTube channel.
I'm posing for Cheery's picture.
Yeah, Cheery's taking a photo of us right now. Pretend we're best friends. That was painful.
Amazing.
That was awful.
Very good.
Let's move to Santorum. What's it been like working with a guy whose name you clearly know?
Just fantastic. Wonderful. All around great guy. One of my favorite Danish people.
One of your favorite? On a scale of 1 to 4 with Jonas, Jensen, Santorin. Actually, do we only have 3 Danes? We have 3 Danes.
3 Danes.
So who's your favorite?
All three.
Oh, that's the
Love
politically correct answer. I love that. And
Cold,
last but not least,
Jensen, Santorin. Love them.
last but not least, we got Alfari. And I don't want to sum up your relationship with Alfari, but Barney is a good friend of both of ours, I think, at this point. He is very willing to do content. He's pretty easy to work with content.
Yes.
Tell me what it's been like with Barney.
I love the man.
Yeah.
He's
a funny motherfucker.
Myron. I don't want to do it.
I don't want to do it, but I'll do it.
But I'll do it just because you asked me.
I know it's your job to ask for the interview.
But I'll do it.
I'm pissed off.
I'm tilted.
I just went
had
0-7
an
in solo
scrim
queue.
match. Not fun.
Fucking Jonas is drafting me.
This has been awful.
But I'll do it.
I have bad juju, bad energy.
This is actually probably the least.
I'm not sure if we can be doing that accent, but here we are.
Why, he's Welsh. You can do Welsh accents, right?
I don't know, dude.
Okay, well, apologies to the Welsh community if that was offensive.
Nothing. You guys can do American accents.
Yeah, do our accents.
I've been told by Rich that I'm very Californian, whatever that means.
Yo!
was like,
Shaka bro!
"Saw, dude."
You're wearing your hat like this. You're like, Rich told me I was Californian. What the hell is that about?
What does that even mean? I don't get it.
And then you've also worked with Albert and Jonas, the coaches, as well.
Honestly, and Yaltz. Don't forget
And
about
Yaltz, and
Yaltz. Yaltz is my boy.
Oh, now I feel like
Alô,
it's
Brasil. Vamos.
Mayron's from Brazil as well, as Yaltz. So they will do interviews sometimes in Portuguese, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. We're trying to interact a little bit with the Brazilian community because very, very big fan base down there.
All right, so tell me about Jonas. What's it like working with Joe?
Honestly, he is so pleasant. I respect him a lot as a coach and as a human being.
He is the perfect boy to bring home to mom and dad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or any
I
guardian.
would bring him home to my mom and dad.
Yeah, 100%. I want him to meet my parents. He's
Cherry,
just like,
would you bring him home to your mom and dad?
he's just the
Yeah, she
sweetest
said yeah.
sweetheart ever. Not a bad bone in his body. I think when he got promoted to head coach, he was a little bit nervous, but he is someone who coaches with his heart a lot. And that's something that's really admirable.
I think me coming into the summer split and with the whole Jack controversy, that was literally the first thing I saw and learned about League of Legends. And then I got Jack for probably 2 weeks. Didn't get an interview with the guy. He was too busy or just I'm not really sure. We don't have to get into that. But for the most part, after Cold comes on, just seeing his arc from where he was to where he is now, it's been pretty incredible for the most. It's honestly, I just have a lot of respect for him.
He's grown a lot, and he's actually helped the players grow a lot, which is so cool to see. And then Albert's
awesome. Every time I've asked Albert for an interview, his interviews are the best.
Yeah.
He is just so well spoken and just knows how to break down and analyze.
And he's only 23 years old.
Really?
Yeah, he's only 23 years old.
Everyone's so young.
Yeah, Myron's having a quarter life crisis, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Albert is really cool because he, used to be on the balance team, and I actually think he might be on the next episode of the BudLight show, so keep an eye out for him. The balance team. So he was one that was he would be like, okay, we need to make Gnar have more attack damage.
Oh, right. So he worked for Riot.
He worked for Riot,
yeah. Okay.
And he is brilliant, which I've been told I say too much, but he's brilliant about the game, but he will never make you feel dumb for asking a question. And I know you and I both feel that way because we ask a million questions.
I asked so many questions, especially in the interviews. I was like, hey, man, the game looked like it went really well today. Can you tell me how that went?
And I'm like, it did not go well.
He's like, well, let me tell you. And then he just breaks it down and he puts it in layman's terms out so I can understand it.
And then Yaltz, our brother at home, whom we miss so much right now. Yaltz, I love you.
Honestly, I wish he was here.
I wish you were here too.
You
but
have his jacket on.
I wasn't gonna tell him that because maybe he'd be upset that I'm wearing his jacket. But
no,
cool,
you're
Yaltz,
just warming it up.
I'm warming it up for you. Yeah. Yaltz, your jacket. No, but Yaltz was he's been on a BudLight show before. You should check out that episode. It was actually a lot of fun to do.
Yeah.
Yaltz was, I don't know if I've told you this, but he was the first friend I had on the team because when I was remote, before I joined on as manager back when I was doing social media with the fantastic Cheery, where she's roaming around right now.
Right.
He would just communicate with me and play League with me, and he's a super warm and friendly guy. When I got to the office, he would eat with me. And I'm sure you had a similar experience, especially now that you know that you share a culture and you learn a lot.
I mean, as soon as I saw him, I was like, he's one of us. One of us.
A gamer?
Exactly. And I'm a true gamer.
No, so tell me about your working with Yaltz, because I think you probably have the most special relationship with him.
Oh, yeah. Me and Yaltz immediately just kicked it off. It's really nice to be able to speak some Portuguese with someone else besides my family. So, yeah, it's just easy to talk to him. We have a lot in common. We come from the same background and whatnot. So, yeah.
Do you guys come from similar areas in Brazil, or?
I don't know where he's from. He told me, but
Shitty
I completely
friend.
forgot. I completely
Shitty friend.
forgot. I know he's not from No, he's from Rio. I'm from São Paulo.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 different states, but pretty close. Very similar cultures for the most part.
And then Dodo, our GM, who you interview quite often.
Yeah. I love him. I got nothing but good things to say about Dodo. Are you are you trying to find things for me to say about the players that?
What do you think of how Dodo smells? No, I'm kidding. Dodo smells fine. He showers occasionally. No, Dodo is. I think Dodo is like the best boss ever.
Yeah,
And I also know that he is very willing to work with you and like.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of my like concerns is like coming to Worlds and like, can I get content with these guys? Is this gonna happen? They're all so focused on Worlds, which they should be, but everyone's been more than amazing in helping me make this happen, making the content go out, and yeah.
You know what's so funny is there was one content piece that we weren't super thrilled about doing, and Jensen goes, "You want me to tell my agent that I don't want to do it, so that way you guys don't have to do it?"
I was like, yeah, but don't, because then that affects my job.
Yeah, and they'll be like, "Why the hell are you making him do that?" No, but shout out Jensen for almost doing that. And last but not least, Mayron, me.
Oh man, if I had anything bad to say about anyone on the team, it's Ben Zieper. Smelly,
short,
even
though I'm taller than you,
super unfunny,
unprofessional.
What about you,
liar.
Flowers? You got anything good to say about
Flowers? Do you want to come on and say hi to the BudLight show?
Sure. Watch the cameras,
ladies and gentlemen, and
lights.
everyone that's viewing. This is Josh Flowers. You told me your title today, but.
Here, well, let's
art director. Let's give him a mic real quick.
Mic right
so
there.
if you like these jerseys that we're wearing right now,
in the middle, Josh.
Yeah, okay.
If you're liking these jerseys that we're wearing right now, these are the design of Josh. And Together We Rise, our Worlds campaign, has been brought to you by Josh and his fantastic team. This is a good segue to get you away from talking about bad things about me too. So Josh, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, and it was a team effort. By no means did I do it by myself. Lots of commerce team and the graphics team and everybody really came together.
He's just being polite. Earlier today, he said no one did anything. It was all me. I have to carry this whole team on my back.
Yeah, it's definitely a team effort. They all make me look great.
That's good. I got to tell you that I have received nothing but compliments about this jersey and this jacket. The beige pants, I know we were in a little bit of a fight about at the beginning, but we've all come around to love.
Submit to the beige pants. Because black is so standard. It's like basic, right? Like, I mean, super easy to do black, but beige is hard to pull off.
And you're pulling it off.
Technically taupe.
Taupe?
Yeah.
Did you know that was a color?
No, dude, he's just being pretentious.
Yeah, it's like that meme where it's like blue, like, and it's like violet, magenta and shit.
Yeah. What was the inspiration behind the Together We Rise campaign for our World's journey this year?
Can
you step a little closer?
Yeah. So TL had back in the day had the Liquid Rising. It was actually a documentary that you can go watch. That's old school TL documentary, but that one has like the Liquid Rising concept, and then bringing in that unifying element, that sense of we or us, and so that together and the we, bringing that like it's a community effort. No one player goes to Worlds alone. They're supported by coaches and family and friends, and everybody makes that thing happen. And it's not just them as much as they're the focal point. It's together. They're not just players. They're friends. They're family, and now they're a region, right? Like they're supporting the hopes of NA, and so they're just carrying more than just one person's burden. They're doing it together, and then we support them with our fandom, with our cheering for them, with the hard work that the staff puts into the work that goes into promoting these kind of events. So really just try to inject that sense of we or us, and that doubling down on the concepts of, tribal fandom, our logos, our colors, these are our marks, these are our symbols. They mean something. They come with values. They come with expectations. They come with a sense of responsibility. So that's really the idea behind the whole thing.
I would like to add that I think that reflects a lot on your personality as well, because Josh is an American in Europe. Yeah. And very early on when we got here, Josh invited us to his house to meet his family and meet his kids and just share some quality time. And the entire European office has been nothing short of incredibly welcoming to us.
It's really an international group, which is super cool, right? Like moving from Kansas City, Missouri in the Midwest, coming to the Netherlands, meeting Swedes, meeting Germans, meeting, Brazilians, oddly enough, all the way over here, right? And it's just a very international office with a lot of people from around the world, and it leads to incredible amounts of diversity and understanding of different cultures. And I think that's super cool. I've been to LA. It's an amazing office as well, but definitely this one has a lot more worldliness to it, which I think is super cool.
And I know that they've been in the scrim room for most of the days that you've been in, and they're just practicing. But what's your impressions been of the team and the players and the staff and everyone involved?
Oh, they're super great.
Who's the best though? Who's the best manager?
Yeah, well, obviously the best manager has been, never seen a guy
Dodo.
to say Joka, but also
Joker. Steve Joker, everybody.
Joka Steve, shout out. Anyway, no, everybody's super great. You guys have been great.
Yeah.
Loved having you guys here. The team is great. All the guys, they're super focused on practicing, super focused. Like you guys know, it's like, hey, we want to do a thing that isn't the game, and they're like, the hell will you say? Like, get out of here with that noise.
Boy,
right?
do I.
Can you do content? No, I'm grinding. I'm grinding EU West. Which
Can
is
you
like
give
a
us your best Alfaro impression? Because we
No.
both done ours.
No, I can't. I won't do it to the guy.
Who of the team? Who have you talked to the most?
So this trip, not really anyone in particular, but actually Jensen came out back when we were in the apartments down the way, and he and I talked a bit when he was with Broxa. We actually talked about the 2020 jersey.
Nice, okay.
He's a t-shirt guy. He would actually rather
All right.
wear t-shirts. But yeah, Jensen actually, my wife was a cook for the team for some points out here.
Oh, no
and Jensen and my wife ended up having like coffee for like hours just talking about different things. And so, I mean, he's the one I've interacted with the most, mostly because of that. But
Right.
I mean, Core is like quiet and you can't get that guy to talk unless he's memeing you, right? Or something
Right.
like that. And, the rest of them are just grinding hard. So haven't really had a chance, nor do I want to. They got a hard task in front of them. So I'm mostly just trying to make sure they look good while they do it.
And I think they all look great, especially me. Josh, any parting words for the team before we head out to Worlds in our journey?
Let's go, Liquid. Together we rise.
Together we rise. Thank you so much, Josh Flowers,
I'll drink
everyone.
to
Find
that.
him on Twitter, find him on Facebook, find him on MySpace, find him on everything.
My MySpace and my poetry.
His
Yeah, right.
MySpace poetry.
Your,
Find his MySpace poetry.
MySpace songs.
Yeah. And the wrinkles on my forehead.
By the way, when we were filming this, there are people still in the office, so
Right, we
there
just had
may
a
be
whole
guests.
company huddle. I mean,
Yeah.
company meeting. I don't think they understand
Huddle?
what a huddle is.
Why not?
I don't know.
Oh, because like esports, yeah, we don't huddle. We meet. So you're saying before the game when we all go like that, we go, all right, guys, meet real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. What about you, dude? You've asked me all these questions. You also started Summer Split. Let's hear about you. What's been your interaction with the team? Let's break it down with the first player.
Oh
Core.
my God, no, we're not going through all the players.
No, so Core JJ, tell me, what was your interaction with Core when you first got here as a team manager?
Well, I'll sum up everyone. I'll not sum
How
up
about,
everyone.
just
but-
sum up the team really quick. Give me like a 2-minute breakdown.
Okay, so I did not really interact that much with Core and Tactical when I first got the job because Core is, he's 27, 28. He's a pretty independent guy. He only asked me for favors like twice, I think, in the first like 3 months I was there. And, we would talk,
Favors
we would
are
eat.
for you to do your job.
Well, for me to do my job, favors, I guess, implies that we're friends. No, we are friends now. But I really didn't work that much with Core. And I'd say during playoffs, we started working and talking a lot more. And he would invite me out to dinner. Core's the kind of guy that invites the team out to dinner. Whoever wants to comes, and then he'll pay for everyone.
I've never got invited.
He's just a sweetie. Well, you're usually editing and stuff. Or not editing, but dropping things off. Core's a sweetie. Edward, I actually was a huge fan of Edward's back when he was on TSM Academy, so super, super excited when he finally got the chance to play in the LCS. We spoke a few times before I took the job. He's a really sweet guy with a great heart. Jensen, and I don't know if this is like something that I'm supposed to share, but I was told that Jensen can be a little hard sometimes, which is
Right.
so far from the truth. And that might sound like a PR answer, but truly, that is the furthest thing from the truth. He is such a pleasure to be around.
He is so easy to work with.
So easy to work with.
So easy.
He is so funny. He's so witty. The thing about Jensen is when he claps at you or he roasts you or anything like that, you got to get him back, and that's how you get on his good side.
Absolutely.
And he's a very quick and witty guy. He's very professional. Sometimes I wish he was less professional because I want to get the good stories out of him when we're doing interviews and stuff. But he's
His
been such a
interviews are
sweetie.
amazing.
Lucas is such a hard worker. I mean, the guy is probably one of the every day here. He's the first person into the office. Usually at the office in
That's
NA,
true.
he's one of the first people into the office as well.
He really is.
He plays maybe the first or second most solo queue games. Him and Corey usually come pretty close to each other. The guy grinds so hard and he's so dedicated. And I have nothing but respect for someone that can give themselves that much to it. And Barney, he's just my friend, And I would say that all of them are my friends to an extent now too. But Barney, I think, is like a friend for life.
Okay.
He is a very bright and very good-hearted, and I guess I said everyone's good-hearted, but he's a very bright and good-hearted young man who's 1 year younger than me, so I can't really call him a young man.
I mean,
but
you're both very
yeah, we're both very young. You're not. He is just the kind of guy who will ask you about your life and what's going on with you, and he and I will just have these conversations till like 2 or 3 a.m. just talking about life and love and family and values. And I know you're in a lot of those conversations too, and we're very lucky to have people that share similar ideas with us and maybe challenge our ideas sometimes. And not in a difficult way, but like an entertaining way. One of the first conversations Barney and I had actually was I referred to someone as my best friend, and then I referred to someone else as my best friend, and then he got into a huge argument with me. He was like, "You can't have 2 best friends, Ben. That's not what best friend means." And I explained,
hold on, you can't have more than one best friend.
Dude, I think you can have as many. I think best friend is like a tier. I think once you become a certain level of friends, you are best friends, and then like if you're asking my favorite friend, that's a different question. And that was the debate we had. Okay. I said, I'm not saying they're my favorite friend. I'm saying they're one of my best friends. And he's like, "When of my best friends? You can't say that."
Should we stop doing his voice?
Dude, I don't think he would care at all. But anyway.
Now speaking of favorite, who's your favorite on the team?
Who's my favorite on the team? That's hard because like everyone has their gives and takes. I mean, Jensen's really sweet, but he's incredibly hard to work with. No, I'm kidding. I really don't have a favorite on the team. I'm just, I'm really happy for all of them for making it through a really hard split. And I think something that we don't talk about enough too is that Lucas, he had his health issues that he was dealing with. And Barney had his issue. I don't want to say Barney had issues because he didn't have issues, but Barney had stuff that he was figuring out and working on. Issues. No. Barney, didn't play the entire split. Core, Edward, and Jensen were the fucking rock through it all, and
they held it together.
And they never
really
faltered, and they showed up for scrims every single day and really tried their heart out. And Core, maybe lost faith once or twice, but he was very quickly reminded that this is a work that promotes a world that promotes hard work, and that's something that I think all of them kind of identify, and that's why when we got here day 1, they all started playing solo queue, and really quickly.
We got here from the plane ride, and we left 10 a.m. No, 11 a.m. LA time, and got here 10 a.m.
9 a.m. 10 a.m.
Yeah, 10 a.m. in the Netherlands. Which to me completely fucked up my whole schedule. I don't understand how they left the airport, came here, dropped their bags off in the apartment.
Well, they had business class, so they slept on the flight.
Well, there you go. And immediately went to the scrim room and just started solo queuing. And I'm like, have any of you even showered?
Have you eaten? And no,
I think Eddie was just like, no, I don't think I've showered yet. I was like, come on, Eddie, you got to shower. Go shower and then come back. But it's definitely one of those things, like I said, I had no idea about these players, about this game, about this whole world in general. So to see that and see the dedication and the work that these guys put into it, I'm like, holy shit.
Something that Jonas pointed out to me very early on when we were here is that other teams were in Europe before us, but our guys had played more solo queue games than a lot of players on other teams. Not to roast any team, but you look at
roast them.
No, not to roast anyone,
ahead, dude.
but no. When we 2 days or 3 days into getting here, Core, I think Blabber had the most solo queue games from NA teams. Core caught up like that, and I don't know if that's the healthiest thing, to be honest. And that's something that we'll maybe we'll figure out later if there's burnout or something. But
Eddie just made Challenger.
Eddie made Challenger. Core made Challenger. I think Lucas is really close. Barney, I don't know. Jensen, I don't know, but. Dude, their grind never stops. They are working. It's so funny because when we would have big losses, upsetting losses during the regular season, sometimes Jensen would just say to me hey, dude, it's regular season.
It doesn't even matter. The only thing that matters is playoffs.
Yeah.
And here we
I
go.
was like, that's a bad attitude, whatever.
No,
but then
I never saw it as a bad attitude. Honestly, I saw it as a guy that is seasoned, knows what he's talking about, and exactly it's what happened.
Yeah,
he knew exactly what he was talking about
when playoffs came around. They showed up
they
hard.
Absolutely
and
showed up.
I know a lot of people were upset about our finals match, but I'm upset too, and we're upset too, and they're upset.
It was upsetting the way we went down. Yes, and but the thing is, it's a part of the game.
Yeah,
and it's only a failure if you neglect to take a lesson from it. And I think Albert had said this in the interview for Squad, better now than in Worlds. So
100%.
We learned a lot from that, and now we're back and we're stronger. And I see these guys grinding, and I have no doubts that they're going to be able to make it.
Yeah, I think we'll make it out of groups, but maybe I just jinxed it. Did you actually see the schedule got released an hour before we started?
No.
We played Mad Lions on our first match of Monday on the 12th, the 11th, the 12th. And Mad Lions is an interesting one because last year they were
Hold on. Let me refill my BudLight.
Okay, I'm going to just stay here for a second and be the sole host. If you're still watching, thanks for being here. Fill that BudLight. Mad Lions is an interesting match because we played them in play-ins last year and we beat them. And then they didn't make it out of play-ins, which is like the tournament that Cloud9 has to play in now.
Wait, Mad Lions didn't make it into play-ins?
They didn't make it out of play-ins. Last year.
Gotcha.
And now they're the first seed. So it's kind of like a cool rematch because I mean, to be honest, I was really nervous when we played them last year in play-ins. I have a lot of respect for Mad Lions. And I think all of our guys have a lot of respect for Mad Lions.
Did we make it out of play-ins?
Yeah, we made it out of play-ins.
Okay, we got the groups.
Yeah, we got to groups. And then we went 3-3, which is a curse for us. But this year, our first match is versus Mad Lions, and I think that's gonna be really exciting because
how do you see that going?
It's tough, dude, because I'm more of an EU fan when it comes to League. I watch a lot of EU, and Mad Lions, like I've seen a lot of analysts, and I'm not as smart as them, so obviously I don't know what I'm talking about. But I've seen a lot of analysts say that EU does not look as strong as they do in previous years. But goddamn, Mad Lions looks tough as hell. I mean,
really?
they're the team I was telling you about that, like, when they are down really bad, they'll be laughing and joking around. And, like, you can tell in the comments they're still having fun. And, like, they're determined. That being said, I think we'll kick their ass. And I think we'll mess them up. And I think they will go home and cry because of it.
I do, too.
And then we play the wild card, which I think we're all pretty sure will be LNG, which is the 4th place Chinese team. And they're pretty scary. They have Tarzan, who is a former Korean. Oh, he's currently
Most
Korean as well.
Most of the Asian teams are pretty strong.
The Eastern teams in general do really, really well.
Okay.
And then
what would be a stronger region, Asia or Europe?
Asia is definitely Asia has won more. That being said, Europe has caught up a lot in the past few years and has had some close matches. I mean, I think in the past 2 or 3 years, there's always been a European, Chinese, and a Korean team in semifinals. Last year, Worlds, it was a Chinese versus a Korean team. The year before that was a European versus a Chinese team. The year before that was a European versus a Chinese team. So it's hard.
And these are all for the finals?
These are all for the finals. It's tough to say what area. I mean, I'm sure Reddit is going to say, what the fuck, it's Eastern teams. But in reality, like...
well, Reddit knows best.
Reddit knows best. I'm also a Redditor, so I'm on par with you guys of level of knowledge. You know what's funny is when we were doing the Backseat Gamer video where Barney was coaching me on Kennen, he like had not seen a gold player play in a long time. And he was like, dude, this explains like the comments I see on my tweets. Like, if this is how people play in your ELO, like, I totally get why they think the way they think now.
And how do they think? You got to explain.
We're really dumb. We're really bad. It's like it's like a little league player trying to explain to fucking David Ortiz how to hit the ball.
Well, here's the thing. I am a level 10, so I can't say anything.
But you've been grinding.
Every day, you know, I got here from the plane and I went straight in the scrim rooms and I just started solo queuing. If you guys want to add me, Crispy Fish Skin, let's go.
Let's talk about your name, Fish Boy Jr. / Crispy Fish Skin. Where do those originate from?
Oh boy, Fish Boy Jr. originated from the Disney show we did, which we would actually do a live podcast early mornings before the show, and a lot of the cast and staff, a lot of the staff were a part of the cast as well. Mm-hmm. And we would do it live on Twitch, and a lot of our fans on Twitch, I don't know why. I really don't remember why or what the reason was. Oh, here it was. Every time we got a subscriber, they would like to cut the camera to me because I'm a little camera shy. That's why I work behind the camera.
Zoom on him, the no camera person right there.
And from there, I don't know. They would be like, okay, if we get another subscriber or donation, you know, Mayron, our camera guy's he's gonna freestyle for you. And I was like, what? And then they would just cut the camera to me, and then just drop a beat, and I'm like, Snuffleupagus. And then there's like, well, he needs a rapper name, and then somebody in the comment section was like, Fish Boy Jr., and it just stuck, and that was it. I know.
And then Crispy Fish Skin. That's like the European version.
That's just the European version. I just kind of kept the fish tradition going, and I like Crispy Fish Skin.
Tradition is the tradition of fish.
Yeah. Yes, tradition.
This is also exciting for both of us because I've been to
never been to Europe.
Yeah, I've been to Europe, but like not for a fun trip. It was, you know, it was for like a dude, this is like not the place to bring it up, but it was like a World War II memorial trip. So like that is not really a fun reason to come to Europe.
And that's because you were in a Jewish
I went to a
school?
Jewish school and we wanted to explore our heritage and stuff like that.
That was a school trip?
It was a school trip. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't mandatory,
God.
but I know it's a great experience. I
Was this
suggest
in junior school?
senior year of high school.
Okay.
But we should stop talking about it because that's not fun at all.
No, let's break it down. So
this is our first time in Europe. What do you think of Europe, dude?
I mean, I think
They're tall.
to Europe, to come to Europe and come to the Netherlands for the first time, on company expenses, to say the least.
Thank you, Liquid.
Thank you so much. It's been nothing but amazing. The EU facilities are blowing my mind. The chefs, Peter, Jacob, and Dylan have been absolutely nothing but amazing to us.
Laura and Benjamin at the front desk.
Exactly. Laura and Benjamin, the rest of the One Up guys over here, just everyone in every department have been so welcoming, so nice to us, giving us recommendations throughout Utrecht and Amsterdam.
Utrecht.
Utrecht and Amsterdam. Do they say Amsterdam differently?
I think they say Holland, actually.
Holland is the country.
Shit. Okay, well.
It's okay.
We've clearly learned a lot.
It's all right.
He has, I guess.
Yeah, I have learned a lot. We learned a lot. Do we
Yeah,
want to
we
break down
actually
about
have-
our history about...
No, we just learned a lot about the Netherlands. And
I mean, did you know that they invented Wall Street? Did
oh,
you? Did you?
My dad actually told me that when I got here. So I knew that the day before you found that out.
I guess they traded it for an island in like a euro.
Wait, actually?
Yeah, they fucked up.
One of the worst trade deals.
And they're the ones that invented Wall Street. They don't seem to know about business at all.
Well, they always say it's not whoever does it first; it's whoever does it best. You know.
There you go. Touche.
The Netherlands is the tallest country in the world, or so we've been told.
I've been feeling very short. 5'11".
Yeah. You know what's funny is we were talking to some of the people today about Bo Burnham, a comedian, and I was like, yeah, he's like 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", and they're like, is that tall?
I was like, yeah, that's just average height. What are you
Everyone's so tall here.
I know, I
It's
think the
nuts.
average is like 6'3".
What the hell?
Yeah, the average national height, and I think women are also like 6'2" or 6'1".
It doesn't surprise me.
It's insane.
Yeah. Filming Squad this past year has been a little new for you. Have you done this much filming of a documentary before in your life?
This much filming at a time? No. It's been about 4 months straight of like weekly episodic episodes coming out, and it's been very fun and very interesting to learn and kind of grow with the team as we do this, because I'm also learning a lot like about the documentary style part of it, the League of Legends, just everything, to be honest. And it's been fun. It's been quite the process. It's been stressful to say the least, but I think the stress kind of just comes along with the job. And it's not like the bad stress where I'm like, I want to pull my hair out. It's more just like, it's just a lot to follow, specifically 5 players that don't
Two coaches
that and like the players that don't want to do interviews, but I was like, but I need to interview you, please. Yeah. But besides that, I just think it's just really fun, especially when we see the episodes coming together and like you're just like, oh, okay, it was worth it. That was really good. I really enjoy this.
Has there been like a favorite shot of yours that you've gotten since you got here? Or not here, but since you joined Team Liquid, has there been a favorite moment or something you got on camera that you were very proud to get?
Yeah, we were never able to show it, but Ben shotgunned a monster.
See, I thought you were going to say when we lost 100 Thieves, you got some really personal shots of the guys upset.
No, those shots were really... There's something else, you know. It was, dude, I think specifically at the press conference, when they asked them, like, how are you feeling? Eddie kind of broke down. That made me want to cry. And I was like, that's how involved I am with these guys now. I'm like, oh, man. And I had nothing to do with them 4 months ago. Yeah. And all of a sudden I'm feeling their pain, and now I'm like, oh my God, like, and that, but I think those are important. You know, you can't just show just the happy moments in the journey. You have to show everything in between, including the very sad parts, including the very controversial parts. Everything builds, you know, it builds to the story and the narrative that the people want to see. And it's not just the winning. The winning's fun. We all love to win, but you have to show everything in between, because then that shows the arc, that shows the growth, that shows like how amazing these people are as people, you know, like, and just as players in general. And like the amount of stress that goes behind those closed doors when they're like scrimming and they're solo queuing, and like they have a lot on the line, you know, and they're kids. That's what blows my mind. They're kids, and I'm like, that's a lot of pressure to put on somebody. And It's been nothing but just very just interesting and just really fulfilling, to be honest. Yeah.
How have you learned how to adapt your interview style? Because I think it's really great how you pull these interviews from them. Like I said earlier, you have a great rapport with the team, which makes it really easy for you to pull these interviews a lot of times.
I was in the beginning. I was like writing down. I don't even know if I should say this.
What?
I would write down a lot of my questions before, but I didn't know anything about League.
Yeah.
So when I would get to the interviews, I was like, oh, these questions are all stupid. They have nothing to do with this. So
you'd be like, why did the little guy with the boomerang become a big guy, and then you went like that?
So
and
what happened here? The guy went and he shot your guy, and then you died. What's going on?
Like I said, he's a loving father and husband. That's why he has no idea what's going on in the game.
Yes. Dude, they're going to think I have a family.
They're actually going to think you have a family. He does have a family. Team Liquid. That was really hard. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I don't know if that was hard.
I got broad shoulders.
Yeah.
That's cool.
He's got big shoulders.
No, but what was the question?
How did you learn how to interview these guys? Because it was a struggle at first, I think.
Well, like I said, it was I didn't really know much about the game, so it was a little harder. And then we have our producer Alex, which kind of like
shout out to you, Alex. You rock.
Kind of like takes everything on the back, and I just roll with him. But specifically on the road like this, obviously Alex can't be here with us. But since I have a really good reputation, or like just relationship, good relationship with the players,
dick.
It's been easier, like now I see them in game, like Alfari, like he's a guy that if he doesn't do good, the guy gets upset.
Yeah.
And at this point I was a little intimidated at first about him because he's 6'7" or 10 feet tall, however tall he is. So
he's a Netherlands average.
And it was harder to get him to come talk, but like now that I'm there, I'm just like, hey dude, just tell me how you're feeling, break it down for me. And he gives
very blunt answers.
Bluntest answers. Not good. I'm not happy. Okay, well, why are you not happy?
Well,
we lost. It was a shit game. It was a shit scrim. Everything was a mess. All right, well, like let's iterate on that a bit. Like, tell me about like this whole week building up to that. And then they start loosening up a bit, and then they start going with it. But it's like that thing. You kind of got to break them down a bit, and then like just have them open up to you. But it was a lot harder in the beginning, especially because I didn't know them and I didn't know the game and I didn't really like have that experience yet. But now that I'm there, I feel like it just comes naturally. I don't really write down any questions anymore. I just kind of like follow with the scrims and everything that's happening, and I'm able to see what's going on. And then I just pick at those moments because I know I got the B roll and I got the coverage for it. So now let's just build out the A roll of it.
Is it hard for you to like maintain?
BudLight break.
Is it hard for you to like maintain, because you do want to be friends with the people you work with, but also sometimes you have to ask them to talk to you at their lowest moments. Like even when I leave them alone, sometimes I see them having a shit day and I'm like, I'm going to get out of your way today. So you have to be in their way all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. Is it hard for you to like have that balance? Like do you sometimes feel like the players resent you even though they may be your friends as well at the same time?
I think so at the moment. Some of them do. Some of them are like, what the fuck? Get the fuck out of my face with that camera. And listen, I get it. But at the end of the day, I got a job to do the same way they do. So, but there hasn't been a moment where like they either snapped at me or gave me some sass that they haven't come after. Like, hey, listen, I was just a little tilted. I was like, there's nothing to apologize about. Because at the end of the day, it's just, we're all just here trying to get to one goal together. And if you take a step back and put your ego aside and just see the bigger picture, you're just like, yeah, that's fine.
So what is some advice you would give to someone that wants to be a League of Legends documentarian or someone who wants to work at 1UP or work in production for esports,
Don't have a life. Just kidding. That was a bad answer.
That was a good answer. It's a little honest. You have a big commitment. I mean, you have a girlfriend at home. Sorry to everyone that's interested.
Oh, sorry to my wife and my kids.
No, Mayron has a girlfriend at home, and I'm sure it's tough being away for 2 months, maybe more if we continue to play well and we make it out of groups. You're going to be gone for a while.
It's a little tough. It's one of the things that come with the job. You start understanding, and then from there, it just kind of becomes like second nature. It's not too hard. But it's something that you start getting used to. The job itself is, I come from a film and TV background, so that's how I kind of made my way into this. It wasn't straight up League, but like talking to the 1UP guys here and other people that I work with at, like when I go to Riot Studios or just anywhere in general, people that are in the esports that are working behind the scenes have all loved and played just esports their whole lives.
Yeah.
So for me, I just count my lucky stars to be able to even put my foot in the door here and just like come in the way I did, because I had no relationship with this whole community at all. But I would say, like, if you want to be a part of this thing, just like get a good reputation within the esports community, make good contacts with people that like work behind the scenes, like the editors, the producers, the shooters, all of those people. Reach out to them. Don't be scared. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. Hit them up on Twitter. I think the Twitter is like one of the biggest things with you guys. I don't have a Twitter, so it's like I said, very weird that I got into Team Liquid the way I did. But I'm here now.
And we're very lucky to have you.
You can't take me away.
And as someone who understands nothing about the game, but has been watching people play it nonstop for the past 4 or 5 months,
right.
What advice would you have for a pro gamer that wants to join the LCS or wants to make it big?
Just be good. Be good, dude.
And accept that content is going to be a part of your lives.
No, content is a huge part of every player's lives, and it's really funny that like there's like, oh, I'm a professional gamer. Like that doesn't like I don't understand how they don't get that every like being a professional gamer, having a fan base, there's other things that come along with that.
Yeah.
Which is content.
Yeah.
You have to maintain
obligations.
the content.
Yeah. Well, you always hear like those stories like celebrities who like say like, I wish I wasn't famous, and you're like, shut the fuck up. Like you want to be famous, but with these guys, like I never realized how big a commitment it was for them to do this lifestyle. I mean, for instance, some of these guys' days start at 6. Like Core JJ, for instance, say Core JJ's day starts at like 7 a.m. because he has to maintain residency in the United States. He has to take English classes because he needs to be a student as well. So this guy's taking English classes. Then on top of all this, he's married. His first year of marriage, so that is a big commitment as well. But he takes these English classes. Then he comes in and he scrims for 6 hours a day upon reviews afterwards. So let's say 7.5 hours a day. Then he plays 3 or 4 solo queue games because he wants to maintain his good hands.
And then comes Mayron. Hey, Core.
Can I get an interview real quick? Hi, Core. Can I get an interview real quick?
And that's how I sound. And then, and I just come in throughout the day and just put a camera in their face as they're playing the game. Camera's right over here. It's
also so funny you talked about like them not thinking about like branding and stuff like that. When I first met Barney Alfardi, he was like, I don't care about any of this. I don't care about sponsorships. I don't care about my image or whatever. But now he's had a lot of success in North America, and I think he's become a huge fan favorite because of his aggressive play style and his very blunt answers in interviews and his honesty and his tweets. And now he's like, oh, I kind of like it,
I mean, I think he's built a reputation for being honest to himself.
100%. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you saw it today, but he tweeted about how top lane was the hardest role.
Did he?
Yeah, because someone else said something about it, and he was like, I agree with it. That's just him being facetious.
Would you agree with that?
The top lane's the hardest role?
Or would it be jungle?
No, it wouldn't be jungle. I think it's probably AD carry, dude.
AD carry?
Yeah, those like I don't know.
AD carry's bot lane.
Bot lane. That's what Edward plays. See, look at this fucking guy.
So
He's been here for 4 or 5 months.
Let's go.
It's what Tactical plays. Tactical has crazy. I say it's either AD carry or mid lane. You gotta have crazy hands, crazy like just movement. It's pretty nuts to watch Edward move his mouse sometimes. I don't know if you ever just like watch them move their mouse.
There's a thing called clicks per minute, right? How many clicks per minute they do?
Yeah.
I was like, why is he clicking so much? There's no one around him.
I think jungle and top lane, jungle, top lane support, you have to have like a very big brain because you need to like be aware of everything going on at once. Whereas like mid lane and AD carry, you're kind of like the hands of the team a lot of times.
Interesting. Okay. And now I think you guys already did this.
What?
To build a team as
a
player.
As a person? Yeah. What would I make their body parts?
Yeah.
Are you asking me or am I asking you?
No, you're asking.
You're asking you?
You're asking you. I'm asking you. BudLight.
Core is the brains. Core is so fucking bright. So smart. Brilliant, as some may say that I would say.
Do you say that a lot? Is that a thing?
Yeah, Barney gets upset with me because he says, sometimes I say like, we're very lucky to be here. And Barney's like, we're not very lucky to be here. We're just, living our lives and other people are unlucky. And I'm like, no, Barney, we're lucky and stuff like that. And, it's glass half full, glass half empty kind of thing. And then.
Shall we bring him in?
No, I just saw Jensen walking around actually, but they do not want to do any more content.
No, they love it.
And then Barney also pointed out that I say everyone is brilliant. Like our team doctor Bowen, I say he's brilliant. And then I'll say that Core is brilliant. Then I'll say Albert's brilliant. I'll go, hey, Barney.
You say that about me too?
You're a brilliant cinematographer. I think so.
Thanks, dude. What about person?
So Core is the brains. That's an easy one. Jensen is the funny bone.
Yeah, Jensen is.
Oh no, actually I take it back. Jensen is the rib because he's always ribbing at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it ribbing or ribbon when someone's like poking you?
Ripping.
Shit. Well, he's always ribbing.
Listen, I don't know. I'm not a brilliant person.
Well, Jensen's always ribbing you. Eddie's the hands. He has crazy hands. Lucas is the.
Would he be the back?
I would say he's the back. Yeah, Lucas's job is like, that's the thing about Lucas's jungling style is like, he is the least selfish jungler in the LCS. Like he is like playing like almost like a second support. You hear the comms. It's constant. Everyone be like, Lucas, come to my lane. And then Lucas comes to their lane.
That's how they say it too.
Lucas, come top lane.
And I asked them, I was like, hey, why do you guys talk like that? I was like, they're just like, what do you mean?
Part of the
How do
game.
we talk? And I was like,
And then Barney is did I ever say someone was the heart? Tactical is the hands, core is the brains, Jensen is the funny bone, Lucas is the backbone, and Barney is the heart. I'd say Barney has a really, really big heart. I mean, just the other day he told me he was going to give me his entire salary just for being his friend. That's true.
That's amazing because he didn't just say that to you. He said that to
him
me too.
as well. Yeah.
So I just can't believe it.
Admirable guy. He just plays the game because he loves it, and that's what he said. He said,
He's
"I don't care about
want
money.
The paycheck. I don't want
these
any
ethereal things. They tie me down.
We don't own anything in this life. Keep it."
Money's for posers. So thank you, Barney, for making that promise and us for announcing it publicly. Mayron, I think we're going to head out because the guys are getting done with scrims, which means it's almost time for you to grab your interviews. Anything you want to say to the fans before we go?
If you see me playing online as Crystal Fishskin in the EU, can you please be nice to me? People have been flaming me left and right and saying they're going to report me. I don't know how to play the damn game, okay?
Hey, now that you've been on the other side of the interview, have you learned anything? Because I'm, they say that I'm probably the best interviewer on the BudLight show.
I have never been interviewed so amazingly like the way you just did.
It's like a fucking poem the way we do it. It's like everything is so precise.
The one thing I learned is I hate this. I don't think I was a great guest, but here we are. And BudLight.
To BudLight.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. I think we're going to have Albert on the next episode. Maybe we'll even get a Core JJ in there.
Would that one be in Iceland?
That one will be in Iceland. Our next episode will be coming to you from Iceland. From Reykjavik.
Iceland.
Yeah,
oh my
Reykjavik.
God, we're on the fucking road.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Who else has a podcast on the road?
Yeah.
Just saying.
I actually don't know. There probably are people that have. Oh, the All Gas No Brakes guy has a podcast on the road. It's called like All Pod No Brakes.
Whatever.
But thank you so much for watching. Thank you, BudLight, for making this happen. Thank you to all the wonderful people at Team Liquid who produced this.
Team Liquid Europe, because I completely tore apart their office to make this happen, and I'm gonna have to put it back now.
Yeah, we appreciate everyone, and thank you for watching. If you've watched this far and you've watched this many episodes, like, you're a true homie, and I love you. I love you.
Just kidding. We love you.
Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night, and root for us at Worlds. We're gonna kick ass. BudLight.
Cheers.